The alley was silent except for the faint hum of a flickering streetlight and the steady drip of rain sliding down dented trash lids. Somewhere in that silence something moved. A shadow pressed against the cold metal side of a dumpster. The shape trembled with every thunder roll. Her fur was matted, tangled with mud and shards of glass, her breath shallow and trembling. The smell of rotting food clung to her like guilt. For 3 nights, no one had come. Each sound sent her deeper into the corner, plastic rustling, a car door slamming, footsteps echoing through puddles. Her world had shrunk to that narrow strip of rusted metal and fear. Every muscle in her body stayed locked, waiting for the next cruelty, the next stone, the next shout. Because that's all the world had been lately, noise and pain. They called her Luna once, but no one had said her name in weeks, not since she'd been chased off from the only home she knew. Her ribs pressed against her skin like fragile branches, each breath a reminder that survival was no longer living. It was just holding on. When the rescuer arrived, he almost missed her. Just a pair of trembling eyes glinting from the shadows. He crouched low, whispering gently into the rain, the way someone speaks to a dream they're afraid to wake. "Hey, sweetheart, you don't have to hide anymore." But Luna didn't move, not a twitch. Her ears stayed flat, tail curled beneath her stomach. Every instinct screamed trap. He tried food. He tried patience. Hours passed, night bleeding into dawn. The city behind them began to stir, horns, footsteps, the hum of morning life. But in that narrow alley, time stood still. The rescuer sat on the wet pavement, voice low, refusing to leave. "I know you're scared, but I'm not here to hurt you." Still, Luna stayed frozen. Her eyes flicked toward him, then away. The scent of wet earth and tuna filled the air. She was caught between hunger and terror, between instinct and memory, and then, so soft it barely broke the silence, he said it. Her name, Luna. The sound hit her like lightning. Her head lifted sharply, ears twitching, eyes wide with disbelief. That word didn't belong to this place. It belonged to before, to warmth, to hands that once held her, to nights when rain meant safety, not survival. He said it again, trembling now. "Luna, it's me." For a heartbeat, the world went still. The streetlight flickered once. Rain slowed to a whisper, and something inside her broke, something she had buried deep to survive. She took one cautious step forward, then another. The rescuer didn't move, didn't breathe. When her nose finally touched his hand, she let out a sound that wasn't quite a whine and not quite a cry. It was everything she hadn't been able to say, every night of waiting, every hour of fear, and in that small, shivering moment between darkness and dawn, she finally came home. The sound of fear, the first nights blur into one endless echo of thunder, hunger, and loneliness. Luna hides behind the dumpster, her ribs sharp against her skin, trembling at every sound. She hasn't eaten in days. The rain pools beneath her, chilling her to the bone. Every car that passes sends her deeper into the shadows, because the last time she trusted footsteps, it ended with shouts and pain. She dreams of a woman's voice calling her name, of a backyard filled with laughter. But when she wakes, there's only silence and the metallic taste of rainwater. Somewhere nearby, a rescuer named Mark hears the faint cry of an animal through the storm. He stops listening, uncertain. The sound comes again, soft, broken, pleading. He shines his flashlight between the dumpsters and sees 2 terrified eyes staring back. Luna freezes, trapped between instinct and exhaustion. She doesn't know yet. This man's voice will soon be the one that saves her life. The whisper in the rain. Mark kneels in the puddles, speaking softly into the darkness. "It's okay, sweetheart. You're safe." But Luna doesn't believe in safety anymore. He tries food, patience, silence. Hours pass. She flinches at every movement, waiting for the hand that hurts. Mark's breath fogs in the cold as he waits, soaked, tired, but unwilling to give up. Then, on impulse, he whispers the name printed on a torn collar lying near the trash. Luna. The reaction is immediate. Her head jerks up. Her eyes widen. For the first time, she doesn't look afraid. She looks confused, hopeful. Mark's chest tightens as he repeats it, slower this time, almost reverent. Luna. She trembles, caught between the voice she lost and the stranger saying it now. Finally, her paws shift. One step, another. When her nose brushes his fingers, he feels it. The faintest tremor of trust breaking through years of fear. But as a passing car startles her, she bolts again, disappearing into the night. Mark watches her vanish, rain washing over his face, whispering to the darkness, "I'll find you again." The rescue for 2 days, Mark searches every alley, every dumpster, every shelter call. He can't get those eyes out of his mind. Finally, he spots her again, weaker, slower, limping from a wound on her leg. He calls her name, voice cracking. "Luna!" She stops. This time she doesn't run. The rescue is delicate, hours of patience, soft words, and steady hands. When she's finally wrapped in a blanket inside his truck, her body still shakes, but her eyes begin to soften. At the clinic, the vet delivers a quiet truth. She's been through trauma. Malnourished, infected, will need time and love. Mark nods. Time is something he's willing to give. As the IV drips beside her, Luna lifts her gaze toward him. A single look that says thank you without sound. But when her heart monitor beeps irregularly that night, Mark feels his stomach drop. "Stay with me," he whispers. "Please stay." The heart remembers recovery is slow and fragile. Luna startles at loud sounds, refuses food, and spends hours staring at the window. Mark reads aloud, letting his voice become her comfort. One morning, she takes a single bite of food. The vet smiles. She's choosing to live again. But the past isn't gone. It lingers in her trembling legs and distant eyes. One evening, thunder rolls outside and Luna vanishes beneath the couch, shaking. Mark slides down beside her, heart aching. "You're safe now, Luna. You're home." Slowly, her body leans into his. In that quiet surrender, something shifts. Trust becomes a living thing, fragile, breathing, real. But just as peace begins to take root, Luna collapses suddenly one morning. Her chest heaves, eyes dulling. The vet rushes in, shouting for oxygen. Mark grips her paw, tears spilling. "Don't leave me now." For one terrifying moment, her heart stops, then starts again. A miracle measured in seconds. The voice. She knew weeks later, the sun finally rises without rain. Luna walks again, slower but proud. Her fur glows under morning light. The dumpster alley is long gone. Now there's open fields, soft grass, and a man who never gave up. She still startles sometimes, still flinches when thunder comes. But when Mark calls her name, her tail lifts, her ears perk, and she runs toward him with a joy that defies the past. One evening, he sits on the porch as she curls beside him. "You made it," he whispers, brushing her fur. Luna looks up at him, eyes calm, steady, full of quiet knowing. The same voice that once found her in the rain now lives in her memory, not as fear, but as love. And somewhere deep in that stillness, a truth hums like a heartbeat. Sometimes, all it takes to bring someone home is a voice that remembers their name,